to the news. The news headline: Why we refuse to allow Nnamdi Kanu change his clothes, DSS reveals. The news details: The Department of State Services, DSS, has refused to wear the clothes given to Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, were rejected. Recall that IPOB members and Kanu's lead counsel, Mike Ozekwome, had always complained of maltreatment and refusal of DSS officials, allowing a change of clothes for the IPOB leader. However, the DSS Director of Legal Service disclosed to Justice Binta Onyako of an Abuja High Court that the outfits brought by the lawyer had an image of a lion drawn on it. He said, "My lord, clothes that were brought for the defendant had lion's head embroidered on them, and the defendant, Mr. Kanu, can't wear clothes with a lion's head. Clothes with lion's head offend the standard operating procedures of the SSS. However, Kanu said in the court hearing that he would like to wear the clothes of his people. He said, "I want to wear the clothes of my people, Isiagu." The Department of State Services, DSS, had reviewed the reason why they did not allow Nnamdi Kanu to change his clothes. Not that they don't want him to change his clothes, but the clothes in which his people brought for him was having lion's head on it, and it is against the procedures of the DSS. So because of that, he could not wear the clothes and had no other choice than to wear his regular Fendi outfits to the trial, to the court. And recall that Nnamdi Kanu lead counsel had complained to Justice Binta Onyako that Nnamdi Kanu was not allowed to change his clothes, and also he has not been allowed to make use of his eyeglasses. They've collected his eyeglasses also. And before then, Justice Binta Onyako has given out an order to the DSS to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu change his clothes, should be able to practice his religion. He should not be in a confined place, and also take his bread and eat. But some of the others were not obeyed by the DSS just because the clothes they brought for Nnamdi Kanu is having lion's head. Now coming in, Nnamdi Kanu's nose fades on terrorism charge April 8. Remember that the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, which was slated February 16th, has been adjourned to April 8, 2022. Justice Binta Onyako of the Federal High Court, Abuja, has fixed April 8 for ruling on a preliminary objection filed by the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, challenging the validity of the 15-count amended charge preferred against him by the federal government. Justice Binta Onyako fixed the date after Chief Mike Ozekwome San, counsel for Kanu, as well as Shuab Labaran, the prosecution counsel, had adopted arguments for and against the defendant's preliminary objection. In a short admonishment, Ozekwome pleaded with the court to acquit and dismiss all the charges filed against Kanu by the federal government. At a resumed trial on Wednesday, Ozukweme argued that the 15-count amended charge was defective and baseless. Specifically, Ozukweme informed the court that his application seeks the quashing, striking out, and dismissing of the 15-count amended charge against Kanu for being incompetent and denying the court of jurisdiction to entertain the charge. The application, with 34 grounds and supported by 36 paragraph affidavits, Ozukweme said, also seeks for an order acquitting and discharging Kanu for want of jurisdiction and defective, baseless, and incompetent charges. Ozukweme adopted his application and asked the court to quash, strike out, and dismiss the entire charges. He asked the court to look at the entire grounds and affidavit, from paragraph 5 to 36 of Notice of Preliminary Objection, and so on. The defendant was unlawfully and traditionally brought to Nigeria against his will and in flagrant violation of international protocol and extradition. However, the prosecution counsel has asked the court to discountenance Kanu's objection and proceed to order him to enter defense. We wish to state emphatically and particularly in paragraphs 7, 8, 9, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 of the affidavit in support of the motion as going into the substance of the case yet to be heard. Labayon said, meanwhile, the Director of Legal, DSS, told the court that family members of Kanu brought a cloth with a lion's heart, which offends our standard operating procedures. The DSS was responding to the court's question on why Kanu still wore his white Fendi designer clothes to court. Ozukweme has complained that despite the court's order, the DSS had refused Kanu to change clothes. However, Justice Unyako asked the defendant, Mr. Kanu, what type of clothes do you want to wear? I want to wear the clothes of my people, Isiago, Kanu replied. Responding swiftly, the judge said, that kind of clothes cannot be worn in my court. So, the case of Nnamdi Kanu, who has pleaded not guilty to the 15 amended charges that were traced to him, said he's not guilty, that all the crimes were not defective, they were baseless. And it has been seen that Nnamdi Kanu is still traditionally in Kenya and not in Nigeria. We have come to the end of the news. Thank you.